Privyet, comrades, how are you? This is the professor. I think my Russian name I'm going to take is going to be Jeremiah Constantine. What do you think? Jeremiah Constantine. Jeremiah Constantine? I don't know. Anyways, you didn't tune in to hear me ramble about my fake Russian name. No. You came to talk about, or to listen to me talk about, they fought for their country or they fought for the motherland. It looks like it goes both ways from things that I've read. This film was suggested to me, 6 or 7 different Russian compatriots said you should check this film out. It is the greatest war film ever. That's a pretty bold statement, right? And you kind of look at, everybody likes their film and always thinks that it's the greatest ever. And I watched the film. The film came out in 1975. And just doing a little background on the film, one of the things that really surprised me is the director directed War and Peace and Waterloo. This is a big-time director. This is somebody who knows how to tell a story. And if my research is right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, it also looks like it's based on a book. So somebody wrote a book about this, and they wrote about this specific battle in World War II, where the Nazis were moving on Stalingrad. Stalingrad, the movie, I have, and some of the special effects are poor, but it was a good movie. I enjoyed the movie. So it was helpful for me to see the context of where this is. I'm familiar now with this from a cinematic point of view. Prior to seeing this movie, if you asked me what is the greatest war movie of all time, I would have said Saving Private Ryan. That's the greatest war movie of all time. What I'll say now about the greatest war film is it very well may be this film, because Private Ryan ripped this thing off left and right, dude. You see Private Ryan, you're like, wow, that's really original. Wow, that's really good. Wait a minute. There's a Russian film from 1975 that was almost the exact same thing. Like, what? So what we have here is the Nazis are pushing in on Stalingrad. And the story's going to focus on this group of soldiers who are scared, who are wrestling with internal demons of fear. Do I want to be here? What should I be doing? This is suicide. What are we going on? All these things that are normal for war. But it focuses in on this group whose sole job is to try to hold a bridge so the Russian army can retreat into the motherland and try to hold off the Nazis, right? I mean, there were elements of this film that you could see where Fury pulled from. I mean, just a lot of American films have ripped this thing off, and which I think is unfortunate. Because I think what ends up happening with things like this, with Russian films and Indian films, because the general American population is unaware of it, it becomes free fodder just to be like, oh, let's take this element, let's take that element. Because there's no way after watching Private Ryan that they couldn't. I mean, it's completely like, what? And so we follow this group of soldiers who fought for their country, who were heroes, right? Being heroic isn't facing something without fear, right? Being heroic is being afraid, and yet you still do something about it. And that's what you see, the story of men do this, and you get to see their relationships. You get to see the bonds between them. You get to see their love for one another, and realizing that this could be it. I really enjoyed the film. I thought the acting was very good in it, very natural. I think the things that you could see in this film is the horror of war. I thought it did a great job. what is war like? We can see films that kind of romanticize it, where you don't think anything about it. But this I thought did a great job of showing the horrors of war. I mean, when these things happen, we walk away saying, you know what, the Russians and the Germans both bleed alike. But people who have nothing to do with the root cause of the conflict are giving their lives for this, and it's a very sacred sacrifice, right? And I don't think the world understands. America did her part in World War II, but the Russians sacrificed a lot of good men and women laid their lives down, not just for Russia, but for America also, right? You cannot say that America won this war by itself. We didn't. The Russians were a huge ally, and they paid the ultimate price for going up against Hitler and taking on the axis of evil. And I think somehow we lose that in our way. It's so easy just to focus in on the narrative of the American idea and all these great war stories. And yes, there were some great American war stories and war heroes, but we don't think about the Russians. Which is sad, because I think if you watch this film, what it does from the American point of view is it humanizes the Russian, the commie, the evil Ruskies who are going to take me as a kid and put me in Siberia, and make me torture me and make me into the Winter Soldier or whatever, the things that we just have these crazy ideas about. In America, it humanizes them, and you watch these men and you realize, especially, you start having these thoughts like, this is Saving Private Ryan. You start getting invested with these characters and seeing what they're doing and how they're surviving the moment, how it's survive and advance. And boy, oh boy, it was, I promise you this, my American friend. You watch this film, it will change your views about Russia. It will. It will absolutely change your views about Russia. I think it's, we see this misplaced heroism in this film, but there's also like touches of humanity and kindness between the soldiers. I can't say enough. Like, if you like war films as a genre, you have to see this film. I mean, you absolutely have to see it. It's an amazing film. The acting is good. I thought the music was eerie. The music really kind of played in. I saw some complaints online about the music, but I thought the music played in well to what they were trying to capture in the film. Man, this is just a great, great film. I think to my Russian viewers, you guys know it's a great film, right? And I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you guys, your kindness to me, your help, your generosity, and like, hey, check this out, hey, check that out. You guys have been so kind to me, so nice. I really appreciate it. To my American friends, I have to tell you, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to you, but one of the problems I think Americans have is that we are self-centered. The world speaks English, the world caters to us, the world does that. And we need to start pivoting off that. We need to start pivoting and understand that the whole world doesn't speak English. The whole world doesn't share our values. The whole world maybe misunderstands what we're about. And we really need to do a better job of discussing that with people. Watch this film. Watch this film. And tell me, how evil are the Russians? Watch the film. Right? It's a great piece of cinema. Think about the lives given by them. If Russia didn't help us, we may be speaking Sie Deutsch. You know what I mean? We very well could be speaking Sie Deutsch. or turning Japanese or whatever, whoever they decided to carve this up to. But you have to start thinking about our enemies. And I use air quotes, our enemies. You have to really understand them. There's a cheesy film with Dennis Quaid called Enemy Mine. And the Americans probably have seen this, know what I'm talking about. Same thing, dude. Once you start engaging with the Russians, you start to realize they're the same as us. War is horrible. We need to prevent it at all costs. We need to embrace the things that pull us together. And this is a great film. I'm just telling you, to my American friends, I know you love Saving Private Ryan. It's like an American classic. Well, guess what? A whole bunch of their points just came right off this film from 1975. It was like, wait, did we just rip this off? So very similar, at least very similar. So to my Russian friends, thank you so much for just recommending this film. Beautiful film, beautiful film. I'm going to be working on the website, and eventually what I want to do is have a page where I show Indian film and Russian films, so the casual fan of Remnant X Radio, Dark Sky Radio, can kind of get an opportunity to see this, because it becomes confusing trying to find where do I go for this or that. Excellent film. I'm trying to find the film, to my Russian friends. I've been looking on eBay and Amazon. I can't find it, and maybe you guys will know. Is there a Russian version of eBay that I need to check? I'm looking for that film with the woman sniper in it. Is it 28? The World War I story with the woman who's a sniper, the most deadliest sniper in the world. I'm trying to find that film so I can watch it. I've seen the trailers, love the trailers, but I can't find the film anywhere. If you guys could let me know on that. So also, we got a lot of stuff going on the website, plugging away. Today is Tuesday, which is Conspiracy TV Day. What? So go check that out. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much. Peace and much love from your American comrade, Jeremiah Constantine.